I bought 5 items so that you don't have to. I bought a magnetic phone monitor. One question I had, and I know other people are going to have, is do you have to stick it to your phone? No, you do not. You want an opening shot from your fridge. So you put your phone in the refrigerator. When you are outside of the refrigerator, you can see the viewpoint of the camera to know whether it's aimed correctly. And then you can close a door, and then you can use this to start recording when you open up the fridge and grab an item from it. Open up the box. It's got a couple instructions in here. Here is the monitor, USB-C to USB cord, charging, I'm guessing. It looks like this is a little remote, okay? And I think that this is a sticky ring, yep, that attaches to the back. There's a power switch on the bottom. Open settings, search smart view. The instructions were right on the device. And the list of devices. Okay, here we go. Before I test out this device, check the description because I'm going to leave timestamp chapters for every single product that we're testing. And then at the end, I'm going to rank them and let you know whether I would buy them again and if I recommend them for creators. Typically, I would use something like this. This is actually the very first time I'm setting it up, so I'm just trying to see how it works. I'm using this. Do you need the OmniFunction monitor? Maybe. I was able to line myself up quicker than I have ever lined myself up before on the back camera on my phone instead of selfie mode. I'm not going to have to like set it on my tripod and then look behind it, but then I'm out of frame and I can't see it. So what I'm hoping is that this device is going to help me. Before we move on to the next thing, I did figure out the remote control. And by I figured it out, I handed it to my husband and said, what am I doing wrong? It's connected all the time, this is. So I technically could use this without this. Instead of pressing record right there, I can set it, I can get it how I need, and then I can use this to start recording. Hopefully you just saw it start recording. One more thing about the remote. This remote does run on batteries, but you do need to connect it to your phone with Bluetooth. You might think, well, it runs on batteries. Why do I need to connect it to my phone? I've got an analogy for you. You bought the perfect bra. It has everything you need, but until you put that bra on your body, it's not going to work. This, just like this remote, it's got everything you need to turn the video on, but until you connect it to your phone, it's not going to work. And once you connect it to your phone, it will stay connected. This, on the other hand, will not stay connected. And that leads me to a big problem. I do struggle to connect this to my smart view on my phone. Sometimes it takes a while. I don't know if it's this phone monitor or if it's my phone itself or if it's a combination of things. Once it's connected, it holds a connection until I turn it off. The other problem is I've noticed a couple of times the screen go wonky before the connection happens, but a simple reboot fixes that. I bought this one because it was the cheapest option. So I don't know if one that was more expensive would do a better job or not have the problems that I'm having. I love this thing when it's working properly, and I've used it throughout this entire video, which is why I opened it first. One other thing that I do want to mention are these buttons on the side. One of them will switch how it looks on the phone monitor itself. The middle button will actually change the brightness on the screen, and I think that I keep it on the dimmest one just to make the battery last a little longer. And then this last button actually will flip the screen around So if I need it flipped for whatever reason, I can do that. The other thing I want to mention is this little piece right here. It is brown on the backside because that actually covers the sticky part. I like to keep this attached to the back of the phone monitor just in case I ever want to use it on my phone one day, but I keep it towards the bottom because if you keep it in the center, it is really difficult to remove. You can lose this easily, so that's why I do that. Yesterday, I was talking with the creator about this specific thing, and before I could even say all the things that I thought that it could do, she was already like, I need a link for that, give me a link. So I will link to all of these products in the description box below. The next thing that has been on my list for a long time is this MultiFunction filming box. Oh, first thought, this is much heavier than I thought it was going to be. So maybe that means that this actually will do the thing that I want it to do and not go straight into the garbage. Couple instruction manuals, hex key, and another USB to USB-C. One thing you need to know about me is that I'm a creator that gets sensory overload very easily. Oh, that's sticky. Oh, I don't want that. There is a note that you can take the sticky strips off and wash them and then put them back. So there's a button right here that I think is just telling me to pull this up. And then it really locks in there. And then this will lock in wherever it needs to go. Watch me try to find something with my over 40 eyes. There is an on button that gives light. That's pretty fantastic. I have now raised this to the highest that it will go. And then this will lean sideways and you can attach your phone right here to get an overhead, a down shot. There is a remote that attaches right here. I could not figure out this either. This is a dramatic reenactment of the moment I realized that not only did I need to charge the remote, but I also needed to charge the light stick. It's not a light stick, but you know what I mean. There's charging. We charged it before we went to bed, and we also charged this. It needed to be attached to my phone with Bluetooth. In order to turn the light on, you have to hold it for 2 seconds. But there's also several brightnesses, and you can use the remote control for that. I'm not pointing it anywhere specific. I'm just clicking the remote. And if I want to turn it off, hold it 2 seconds, it should turn off. This is fantastic. We're going to test this out by doing an overhead shot. I want the back camera down. I can see the view in this of how this looks. That's pretty awesome. I can be able to show you. I can see where it is. Well, not right now because it's not facing me, but I can see where it is in the frame. So this will be a time saver and I won't have to try again to get the correct shot. So this is one of my favorite mics. It comes in this charging case. Let's see what this would look like with a different lighting. I'm going to use a remote control here. This is a different lighting. This was completely different. There's another one. I think I like this blue-ish light, and then I can increase the light or decrease the light. I want this to be able to put on my desk so that I can film my monitors to perhaps film more vertical content here on the channel. Let's put this puppy to the test, see if it works. And then doing something like, let's go to presentation. And now I know that that's not shown, so I can make an adjustment. So I'm using both this and this to show me what it's looking like on the camera, and I don't have to second guess. I was wondering if I put the fill light on it, whether that would help, like brighten up the screen while I'm recording. So let's check that out. There it is on. There it is off. So let me know what you think. It's time for the gimbals. I'm going to start with unboxing the one that I got for the cheaper price. I also picked this one up at regular price because this is a brand new item and I want to see how it compares to the cheaper one. And you're going to think, why did you buy both? I did this for you. I might as well use this, right? It's what it's for. Let's unbox this thing and first open up the usual suspects. I suspect there'll be some user manual, but some other things as well, including this foamy piece. These are anti-slip pads to secure the phone. This bag will hold all of our supplies for this gimbal. Are we calling it a gimbal? I'm not exactly sure. And just like I suspected, a lot of user manuals and paper stuff. Let's put that to the side. Let's start off with the tripod. I want to see how easy it is to open, and it opens pretty easy. We'll see this being used in a little bit. This is a USB to USB-C charging cable. Let's take out the piece that I think attaches to your phone. I am surprised that it is metal. There is some foamy piece. I'm checking to see how easy it is to open because that is one problem that I personally have. Now it's time to take out the main thing. This is supposedly what makes the whole thing work. I'm really not sure how it works. That was a little awkward to pull up for me. And I'm also testing to see how the buttons feel. We'll figure out what the buttons do after unboxing both gimbals. I want to see how easy it is to attach this piece to the gimbal. I'm not gonna lie, I struggled for a minute, but then I figured it out. But how easy is it to attach the tripod to the bottom of it? So yeah, this was self-explanatory, very easy to put together. And now let's unfold it and see how stable it is. I also want to check it to see how much rotation there is. And you see here, you cannot rotate it 360 degrees. But this part also moved. And again, I'm testing this to see how easy that is to put on and off. I suspect at this point that it would be easier for me to put my phone on that little metal piece and then attach it to the gimbal. Yep, that's definitely the way to go. Taking off the tripod was just as easy as putting it on. And here is the charging cable. Who else loves when a product gives you a way to organize stuff? I'm someone that gets disorganized very quickly. So the fact that there is a bag for me to put all of my stuff from this specific gimbal, I absolutely love. Let's move on to the Osmo Mobile 8. Don't make the mistake that I made and miss some of the stuff that's in the box and put the box off to the side. Instructions, smuctions, who needs them? Okay, I'm gonna need them. We'll put them off to the side. So the first thing I noticed is it feels like the same bag, just a different color. The second thing I noticed was that it was all one piece. Unlike the cheaper model, everything was together and there was nothing else left in the bag. Listen to my reaction real time. Oh, did it automatically turn on? Remember the sensory overload issue? Yeah, it comes into play. Ooh, that's a light. The light has different brightnesses and color temperatures. And just to be clear, the cheaper model did not have a fill light. How does it feel simpler, yet more complex all at the same time? I think this light indicates it will need to be connected with Bluetooth. It sure does. Plus, you need the DJI Mimo app. Now it's time to compare them. I like the way that this Mobile 8 feels in my hand, just a little bit better, but not much. I'm looking at the controller at the top now. We figure out the side buttons in the outdoor testing phase of this video. I'm the type of person that doesn't always recognize the obvious. And so here you see me putting on the Mobile SE tripod onto the Mobile 8 and testing it out because I didn't see a tripod in the box. Now, my husband grabbed this and immediately took that right off and put it right back on. So of course it comes off, but then he showed me this. That's actually a tripod. You pull it out. You watch me struggle with it for a second because these things don't come easy. And that looks like a flux capacitor. How cool. The reason why I got the Mobile 8 is honestly for this. It actually spins all the way around in either direction. I love that. The padding on the Mobile 8 is superior. It's thicker, which helps it not press the power button on the side of my Samsung 22. I recognized that I was missing something, so I looked at the back of the box and there is something that I missed. The cords. I was missing the cords. Remember when I said I struggled to see the obvious things? My husband took this from me and said, "Did you know it had an extension?" No, I did not. Let's take these gimbals outside for a test drive and figure out exactly what they do and what the differences are. If I press the little trigger button once, it will track you, walk out of frame. So then it will start following you even if I don't. And then I'm like, oh, and I can turn and start following you. Yep. And I did put the tripod on the bottom, so I've got a longer handle to hold for this one. Remind me what follow does.
Okay, so this one, it doesn't do it. So it ignores this angle here. It basically keeps it level no matter what I do in this direction.
Whoops. It just, what did it just do?
If you go far enough, it actually does the rotation.
Let's see.
And I guess it's if you go fast. As long as you go slow, it actually doesn't do it.
Well, it probably depends on how. Look at how carefully I'm trying to rotate this phone. Yeah, that doesn't work on this one.
Plus, there's only so many.
Mine flipped.
That's because that head can't do 360, remember? So when it gets to a certain point, it basically does a quick rotate.
To change the modes, you will just press the M on both of the gimbals. This is the second mode, which sort of looks like a hula hoop.
Like the other one, if I went down, it went down. It just did it slower. This one, it's going to try to not move. So if I go down, it doesn't go down. Now, if I go down enough, it will eventually start going down. But for the most part, it basically keeps the tilt until I do it too far where it's at. And then left to right, same thing, it stays locked. So that no matter what I do left to right, it stays straight.
And now it's locked in on your pants.
Double click and it'll recenter.
This one is active track, but I have no idea what it does.
It's got a motor here, a motor here, and a motor here. And those three are working together.
Well, for you, like a joystick is natural.
Oops, I think it detected a triple click.
We'll get to the joystick in just a minute. You clicked this 3 times?
Now maybe it's a feature. Remember, this one has the 360, that one doesn't. Maybe it relates to the 360.
The joystick will move your camera up, down, but it's also important for the spin shot mode. How does this one work?
So I don't know what all, so it kind of acts like the previous one, but it has the added feature of the thing that lets it do this.
Wait for it. I'm sorry, everybody. This one's obnoxious. I don't like it at all. It's about time to find out what the side buttons do. But before we do that, let's look at these buttons. The top one, that's a record button. And the bottom one, It's going to flip your camera to go from YouTube Shorts to long form videos. And it's a zoom. It looks different on his. So I can press this and it will zoom in on whatever you want. Like this dead flower or almost dead flower, it goes in 10x. But I can also use my finger on the phone and do that as well.
Right now, this controls that. But if I push this button, this controls my zoom. And you see how it's a slow zoom? Like slow and gentle. If I push it again and go back into normal mode, then it becomes quick.
And check this out.
The ability to tilt.
It's facing, oh, that's me.
So you can get down here and do some stuff like this.
It was upside down on the phone, so I rotated it in editing.
No idea what this is going to look like.
There's no extension on the cheaper one, so it can't do this. And the final thing I'll be testing is the DJI Mic Mini. I love this one, and it is a fantastic microphone. However, this little device supposedly has a feature that will sync up with this device. In order to see if that worked, I needed to buy this mic, right? Let's break open the DJI Mic Mini, and of course, more of the usual suspects. We've got instructions, stickers, and things like that. And I'm loving this little pouch. Let's unzip it and see what's inside. After pulling out all of the items, I noticed that there were compartments on the inside, including 2 spots to hold something and a zippered space. I love that. The first thing that I'm opening up here are the dead cats or dead mouse. I tell you what, can I propose a change? Can I suggest that instead of those terms, that we use mic muffs instead? Because that's just so much better. But there are 2 different color of mic muffs. Supposedly you can just snap these right on to the microphone, but you'll see in a little bit, I find this challenging. There are actually 4 different mic muffs included. Who else struggles with opening up packages? Is it just me? Please tell me that I am not alone with this, because this was absolutely difficult for me to open. Of course there are cords in here. One of them will be the USB charging cord. Awesome. And the other, the box says that it is the camera audio cable. It's finally time to open up the actual microphones, and here it is in all of its glory. We have to peel the sticker off that lets you know that you need to press that to open up the box. There are so many lights flashing at me, and we all know how I feel about lights. Getting my first look at the actual microphone, it is pretty small. I'm going to compare it to my Hollyland mic here in a second, but there is a clip that you can clip on your clothes, or you can use this magnet. When I pulled them out of the box, they both turned a solid green, as did the receiver. And when you press the button on the microphone, it will change whether noise cancellation is on, and it changes the color on the receiver just slightly, but I don't know which is which. And there is a plug next to it that's empty. It's actually for the USB Lightning, I think. You need to buy that separately if your phone has a Lightning connection. And y'all don't need to see me struggle trying to put this mic muff onto the mic. Spoiler alert, I never got it attached. Now I'm just testing out the cords to make sure that it plugs into the receiver as well as this audio cord. I just wanted to make sure, and that end would pop into the camera. This is when I laugh at myself because, again, I miss obvious things. But this is the thing that attaches to your camera or your phone. I'm about to pull out the phone receiver. How does it go on the freaking phone? I know it's supposed to plug into the phone, but Is it just a receiver? I don't know. And then I thought, oh, maybe it attaches to this. And I think it's magnet. No, it's not. I did figure this out. This is the piece that we need to unplug. So you just pop it right out. And I'm going to put it right there so I don't lose it. There is a red arrow and there is a white arrow on the transmitter. But I really like to look at the bottom of it because I can see it better. It reminds me a little bit of Braille. And you see how there's 2 dots and 4 dots? Those line up. So all we're going to do is turn this over and then slide it in to the receiver. And now this receiver will go to a USB-C port on your phone. Let's pop that out. We're going to pop this back in, but a little tip for you. One of the edges is smoother and one of the edges is rougher. You're going to put the rough side and then pop it back in. Let's put it back in the case. There is a little trick. First, the clip goes towards you and the arrow that faces towards you is going to face towards you in the box. And then you just pop it right in here. A little trick is to not push it in all the way. Just put it in barely because it is very difficult to get out if you push it in all the way or put it in the wrong way. There are lights when you open up the box and you can see how charged the box is. I need to charge this one because it only had one light. I wanted to see how much bigger the DJI Mini mic was to my favorite Hollyland mic. And so here I am just comparing the charging box and looking at the receiver. And funny thing, they kept sticking to each other because they're both magnetized. It was a pain in the butt to try to compare them because they kept being attracted to one another. It's very funny. And my favorite part, figuring out how all the stuff goes into the pack. I decided to put the little cords in the zipper pouch so that they could be separate from the microphone itself. And then I put the mic muffs into the little side pouches I'm putting in the microphone itself. I'm thinking that there's a little more room to put something. No, we're going to go ahead and zip this up. This audio is a Hollyland mic, but we're about to test out the DJI Mic Mini.
I can feel the rain, by the way.
I was about to say, is it about to start? It started.
The rain is here again.
I was about to say I can't hear you, but then I remembered you're mic'd up.
Yep, that's why I was testing it. I was trying to get away from you, but you keep following me. Like I was trying to test out distances and stuff.
Wait, I need to flip.
Well, I think, there you go.
Side note, I love that I can just flip it.
I'm getting wet.
That's what she said?
I'm running away from you now.
So don't follow you?
Don't follow me this time. I'm running away from you now. Yep, even the deal died off this time. So that one killed everything.
I bought it, I unboxed it, I tested it out. Now, can I recommend it? We're going to start off at the bottom. This angry face means I don't recommend it at all. I would not buy it again. In fact, I wish I'd never bought it. That's what this one means. Next up, we have these products are things that I would not buy again, but they might be beneficial for someone else. They just weren't a good fit for me. Next up is the category, I really liked it, but there were a couple of problems with it. In general, it means I recommend the idea of it or even the exact product, as long as you understand that there are some downsides to keep in mind. This one right here is, I liked it a whole lot, yet there are a few things that the manufacturer could do that would improve this, but I really do recommend it. I loved it so much, and There's probably very little to be improved here, and I highly recommend it. Could not live without it. So when you see things that are ranked a little bit lower, just know that my expectations are very high. When you see one of these little things pop out on the side, you're going to know exactly what I mean. If I'm being honest, I do not know how I lived without this thing. I opened up my wallet. I spent $24.05 for a second one that's coming in, and I'm going to give it a test too. I would absolutely recommend a phone monitor, even if it's not this exact one, because it really does help line up the shots, especially with overhead shots. Speaking of, I bought this thing to record my screen and to record myself. What I did not realize is how much help it would be to record products. These two work really well together because when you're putting your phone back facing camera down and you put it up, you can't actually see what's on the screen. And if you do any sort of top-down shot where you're showcasing a product, or you have a cooking channel and you are making things and want a nice top-down shot, those two items paired together would work wonderfully. I'm so glad I bought it. I would absolutely buy it again. Would I buy that specific one again? I'm not sure. I would try out a different brand. Now let's talk about these. If you are between the two, go ahead and just buy this one. The three main features that I loved about this one that this doesn't have is one, this telescopes and this tilts. Oop. Okay, it turned on because, well, it's on. The other thing is there is a little trigger button, and when you tap it 3 times, it will go from facing the person you're speaking with to yourself, and you can click it again to go back. And then, of course, the third thing is that it will pair with a DJI microphone, which will make your audio sound better when you're using your phone. However, if you are on an extreme budget and want a gimbal, then this one will do the job. However, it doesn't have as many bells and whistles as this one does. Let's talk about this one. I'm going to be honest, I only tested it that one time in the clip that you just saw, but I actually think that this is a pretty good microphone. I think there are some features on this that the Hollyland does not have, including being able to turn the gain down, and there's just some settings that you can use in this, and the quality of the audio sounded really nice too. I had a lot of trouble actually pairing the microphone to this one, and it involved apps and Bluetooth, and this had to be attached. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how it worked, but once it was paired, it worked beautifully. I would definitely recommend the DJI Mic Mini. And this mic right here, the one that I'm using, it is another product that I wish that I'd bought sooner. And automatically go to you and then track wherever you go. That was pretty funny. Watch this video next, and I'll see you next time. Bye.